Hello friends, welcome back to Rubik's Automate Academy. Today's objective is to generate a Fibonacci sequence in Python. We will be writing a logic to successfully accomplish this task. I will cover more in a second. If you already know the Fibonacci sequence or have heard the term before, then it might be easy for you to achieve this objective, and it's okay if you are not to the Fibonacci sequence, you will still learn it. And I hope you know algebra from your math class because the logic is mostly based on algebra. So let's start this lesson. This is the Fibonacci sequence. There is a pattern. Pause the video and try to find the pattern. If you find it, then be sure to tell me in the comments. I will say that the pattern is unique and hard to decode. First of all, the sequence always starts at 0. The pattern is the next number in this sequence is found by adding the current number or the number that you are on and the previous number. For instance, let's say you are here at the number 5 and you want to find the next number. Then you add this number, also known as the current number, to the previous number. In this case, the previous number is 3. So if you add 5 and 3, you get 8 as the next number. Moving on, if you notice, there are 2 1 as you see. There is a reasoning behind this. Since there are no numbers before 0, you have to say 1 as the next number in the sequence. The other one is the result of the addition of 1 and 0. This pattern applies to every number except for the first two numbers. Since you have learned the pattern now, pause this video if you need to and try to find the next number after 34. If you said 55, then you are absolutely correct and you definitely understand the pattern. If you got it wrong, then rewatch this part or you can tell me in the comments. I will give you a head start on what we will be using to create the logic. So, we will be using the input function, conditional statements, loops, range function, variables and print function. If you don't know one of these, then watch that video. I will give you the link to the Python playlist in the description box down below. Or you can click on the I button at the top. You will find everything in the playlist. If you are thinking that we'll print each number in the Fibonacci sequence, then that's one way we can do it. But we can probably do 20, 30, even 50. But how many times can you repeat this? At one point, you'll be bored and tired. So we want it to be automated, meaning we want the computer to do all of the calculations. So first of all, we will ask the user to enter a number. If they enter a number like 4, then they will get the first 4 numbers in the sequence. If the user enters 7, then they will get the first 7 numbers in the sequence. This applies to all whole numbers. So we will say num equal int input enter a number. Next, we have to create two different variables that will store the values 0 and 1. The reason is to find the next number in the sequence, you have to add the current number to the previous number. So, to start off, we need the first two numbers in the sequence which are 0 and 1. Then, we add them to get the third number. And you keep repeating the pattern, adding the current number and the previous number. So, we will say a equals 0 and b equals 1. Now we will add conditional statements to give the user the results they want based on their answer. I will now show you what I'm trying to say. So the first condition is going to be if the user enter a negative value, negative number or 0, then we will give them a error message. So we will say if num is less than or equal to 0, then we will print value must be 1 or greater than 1. You can even say value must be greater than or equal to 1. Then the next condition is going to be if they just want the first number, then we will just print A, which is 0, which is also the first number. And if they want the first two numbers, they will just print both of the variables since both of them are the first two numbers. So elif num equals 2, print A and print B. We will now add an else condition that will execute if all of the above statements are false, meaning if the user enters first three numbers or more than that. So we will say else, and now we are going to print the sequence. Since you already have the first two numbers, so we're just going to print it. So print A and print B. And now we are going to run a for loop for other numbers. So we'll say for I in range. Since you already have the first two numbers, we'll start from 3, meaning third number, and we're going to end with num, also plus 1, because as you already know that Python only counts until one number less than this number, meaning if this number is 5, then Python will only count up to 4. So we have to say 6 in order to include 5. Since we don't know the exact number of exact value, we'll have to say plus 1. Now we are going to create a new variable named C, and it's going to hold the sum of A and B. Now we are going to print it. Let's run and test. I will say 3 here. So basically these two are the result of these two statements, but the one is result of this. So now we'll have to shift the values. So we will say A is equal to B and B is equal to C. So over here, because of this, the value of A will be shifted to 1 since the value of B is 1. So A equals 1. Then by doing this statement, the value of B will be shifted to 1 because the value of C is 1. So B equals 1. And since the values of A and B have changed, the value of C will change as well. So A is 1 and B is 1. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. So C equals 2. And now if we run this, I will enter 4 now, and see we get 2 as expected. But I will do the same thing again, meaning the value of A will be shifted to 1 now. Like it's going to stay same because the value of B is 1. But here the value of B will be shifted to 2 since the value of C is 2 now. And the value of B has changed, the value of C has to change as well. So A equals 1 and B equals 2. So 1 plus 2, 3. And now we will run this again, and I will say 5 this time, and see we get 3 as expected. This loop will keep executing until this number, meaning if you enter a number like 5, after the first 5 numbers in the sequence are printed, the loop will stop. If you enter a number like 8, then after the first 8 numbers in the sequence are printed, the loop will stop. So friends, this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed making the logic to generate a Fibonacci sequence based on the user's answer. If any part of this video was confusing, then please rewatch that part or tell me. From the next video, I will be studying functions. You have heard me say the term function a lot of times, like print function, input function, int function, etc. So you're finally going to be learning what are functions and their uses. There will be several parts / videos of functions. If you are subscribed and you have clicked on the bell icon, then you will get the update when those videos are uploaded. Hit that like button if you learned something new today. I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.